Welcome to Serengeti National Park in the East African country of Tanzania. In this opening scene, we are observing the world's fastest land animal, the cheetah. This trio includes a mother and her two rather mature cubs, both of whom are daughters. There are an estimated 300 total cheetahs living in Serengeti National Park. As the fastest of land animals, cheetahs have come to occupy the high-speed predator niche of the open savanna, in which, from a standstill, they can accelerate up to speeds of 112 kilometers per hour, or 70 miles per hour, in just 2.5 seconds. Notably, cheetah hunting usually occurs during the daylight hours. By contrast, other cat species often hunt at night. And other cat species often hunt at slower, though still quite fast speeds. For example, lions can attain speeds of 80 kilometers per hour or 50 miles per hour. Note, however, that cheetahs can only maintain their top speed for about 30 seconds before needing to stop and rest. Let's consider some of the physical characteristics of cheetahs, which, when taken together, set them apart from other members of the cat family. The lightly built frame and slender, long legs of the cheetahs are very well adapted to the animal's ability to attain high speeds. Unlike those of other cat species, the claws of the cheetah are only semi-retractable. Note the black tear that extends from the inner corner of each eye down to the mouth. Additionally, as compared to other big cat species, the teeth of the cheetah are smaller relative to skull size. The cheetah also has comparably larger nasal passages, an adaptation to greater air ventilation that better supports oxygenation of blood and, thus, high-speed pursuit while hunting prey. However, these enlarged nasal passages leave room for only the smaller teeth that we spoke of, and this diminishes the cheetah's prey-taking and defensive capabilities. This necessitates that cheetahs kill mostly smaller prey, and that it be killed by strangulation rather than by inflicting wounds that result in the prey bleeding to death. The cheetah's coat, which is yellowish to tan and covered in black ovals, each of these ovals being about 3/4 to 1.5 inches in diameter, functions to conceal the animal as it progresses through its tall grass habitat. This has obvious advantages in both the animal's behavior as a predator and in its ability to evade other predators, such as lions, leopards, and hyenas. The semi-retractive cheetah claws and specialized paw pads provide for better traction at high speed. In addition, as compared to other felines, the cheetah's relatively large heart, large liver, and large adrenal glands, that is, the glands located atop the kidneys that release stress-related hormones, enable the rapid acceleration required of this high-speed predator. Note the fleeing Thompson's gazelles here. This is a common prey item of cheetahs. Cheetah adults attain weights ranging from 34 to 64 kilograms, or 75 to 140 pounds. They reach a shoulder height of about 77 centimeters, that is 30 inches, and a total body length of 112 to 142 centimeters, or 44 to 56 inches. On average, male cheetahs are slightly larger than females. Some of the prey items commonly hunted by cheetahs include gazelles, duikers, springboks, impalas, as well as younger examples of larger, more robust species, including hartebeest, wildebeest, roan, kudu, and warthog. In line with their being primarily diurnal, that is, active during the day, cheetah eyesight is especially well developed, more so than their sense of smell. Notably, cheetahs are estimated to lose about 50% of their kills to other predators, including lions, leopards, and hyenas. Thus, when a cheetah makes a kill, it often attempts to consume the rump portion first, as this contains a greater mass of high-energy fat. As testimony to cheetah cleanliness and matters related to dining, we can note that they neither return to kills nor consume carrion. When young cheetahs are just 6 weeks old, they begin to accompany their mother on hunts. In this way, they begin to learn the many principles required for them to develop into effective predators. At 6 months of age, the mother will start to provide the cheetah cubs with live prey to specifically promote the learning of killing skills in these yet neophyte predators. At about 18 months, the mother cheetah abandons her cubs, who then form a sibling group. Females abandon the sibling group after an additional 6 months, though males establish what is termed a coalition and remain together for life. Among the 40 species of felines, this cheetah social order is unique. We are observing a coalition of two brothers right here. At 2 years of age, male cheetahs become sexually mature and will relocate up to 482 kilometers, that is 300 miles, away from the territory occupied by their mother and, thereby, establish a new territory, usually about 13 to 26 square kilometers, that is about 10 square miles. Such territories are generally selected based upon relative abundance of prey items. Though they live solitarily, female territories often overlap those of their mother as well as those of other females. In general, females display limited to no aggression towards one another when their overlapping territory brings them into contact with one another. Sexual maturity in cheetahs occurs at from 18 to 23 months. Gestation lasts for 3 months, and most cheetah litter sizes range from 3 to 6 offspring. While cheetahs may reproduce at any time of the year, more births occur during the wet season, when newborn gazelles are abundant. To better understand where cheetahs fit into the cat family, which is called Felidae and contains approximately 40 total species, we can note that this taxonomic category divides into 2 subfamilies. One of these is the Pantherinae. It includes the tigers, lions, leopards, and jaguars. Note that all of these cats are capable of roaring. The other subfamily is the Felinae, and it includes the remaining 36 cat species, including, to name a few notable examples, the cougars, ocelots, servals, caracals, clouded leopards, lynx, bobcat, and the cheetah that we see here. Notably, though the members of the Felinae cannot roar, all members of this subfamily can purr. Notably, there are currently 5 recognized extant cheetah subspecies, 4 of which occur in sub-Saharan Africa, and 1 called the Asiatic cheetah, of which occurred until recent times from North Africa to central India. It is now only found in Iran. Presently, less than 50 individuals are believed to survive in 3 subpopulations that are scattered in an area of 140,000 square kilometers, that is about 55,000 square miles, in Iran's Central Plateau. This subspecies has been officially listed by the IUCN as critically endangered since 1996. With an average adult size of 5 meters, or 16 feet, and up to 6 meters, that is 20 feet in length, the Nile crocodile is native to all sub-Saharan Africa, though it is generally less abundant in West Africa. It ranges in weight from 225 to 750 kilograms, or 500 to 1,650 pounds. However, there are credible reports of individuals attaining lengths in excess of 6 meters, or 20 feet, and 1,000 kilograms, or 2,200 pounds. While capable of thriving in saltwater habitats, the Nile crocodile is usually found in freshwater realms, including rivers, lakes, swamps, and marshlands. After the saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus, the Nile crocodile is regarded as the second largest reptile in the world. Here we see Nile crocodiles along the banks of the Grumeti River in the west-central region of the Serengeti. They are feasting upon the remains of a white-bearded wildebeest, which may have been killed by the crocodiles while it crossed the river. It is also possible that the wildebeest drowned while crossing the river and is thus being scavenged by the crocodiles. Note how the very large, perhaps over 4 meters, that is 13 feet, long individual seen here raises its head so as to use gravity to assist a large portion of the wildebeest carcass to progress from the crocodile's gaping mouth down through the throat and into the stomach. We will see some of these crocodiles here spinning on their body's long axis in an effort to tear off chunks of flesh from the wildebeest carcass. When this maneuver is done in water by a crocodile that has secured live prey in its jaws, it is called a death roll. Aggressive apex predators, large Nile crocodiles can take as prey most animal species within their range. Notable exceptions include adult examples of elephants, rhinoceroses, and hippopotamuses. Patient ambush predators, Nile crocodiles can lie in wait days or even weeks for prey to amble upon their path. When that finally occurs, the Nile crocodile can act with great swiftness and sink its sharp, conical teeth within the extremely powerful jaws into the flesh of victims. The death of prey is often caused by drowning, as the vice-like grip of the Nile crocodile's jaws can easily maintain the struggling prey underwater for an extended time period. As is the case with most other crocodilians, the Nile crocodile is a relatively social species. Indeed, they are often found congregated about such food sources as fish schools and large carcasses. Hierarchy is entirely size-dependent, with the largest individual being dominant and progressively smaller individuals having progressively less access to the choice food and basking areas. Smaller individuals that violate this hierarchy may be swiftly and brutally dealt with, possibly resulting in the lesser crocodile's death. While it was for a long time assumed that Nile crocodiles are more closely related to the West African crocodile, molecular data has indicated that the Nile crocodile is actually more closely related to several New World species, including the American, Cuban, Morales, and Orinoco crocodiles. The success of a crocodile attack is largely dependent upon both stealth and attack speed. The former is achieved by the great predator through carefully approaching potential prey while remaining submerged, such that the prey remains unaware of the impending attack. However, to be successful, the attack must also be swift and accurate, so that the prey is taken completely by surprise. Nile crocodiles attain sexual maturity at 12 to 16 years of age. Males attract females by producing loud sounds, such as those produced by forcibly slapping the water with their snouts or ejecting water through their noses. A receptive female will then approach and rub the underside of its jaw with that of the male. Typically, the male then forcefully pins the female down underwater and aggressively copulates with her. Note that both the crocodile and elephant seen here are very aware of one another. 1 to 2 months after mating, the female digs a hole about a half a meter or 20 inches deep that's located a few meters or yards from the riverbank. Here she lays 25 to 80 eggs, the number being higher for larger females. The female then covers the eggs in sand or soil. This differs from other modern crocodilian species, which typically use rotting vegetation to incubate eggs. She then guards the nest for an incubation period of 3 months, after which the eggs hatch. The mother may protect the young for up to 2 years, sometimes picking up the young in her mouth to transfer them from one area to another. It is estimated that only 10% of laid eggs actually hatch, and that only 1% of these hatchlings will attain adulthood. Here we see a puff adder that, probably in search of water, paid our campground men's bathroom a visit. This highly venomous and dangerous to humans snake is especially widespread, occurring from Africa on up through the Saudi Arabian Peninsula. The name derives from the ability of this snake to puff up and appear bigger when it feels threatened. Unlike most snake species that retreat at the approach of footsteps, the puff adder will maintain its position, hiss to announce its presence, and then strike violently if stepped upon. When I discovered this individual in the bathroom, my main concern was to safely, for the sake of the puff adder and all people involved, have it removed. Note the large, blood-gorged ticks protruding from the back of this poor fellow. Lion-weight predators that consume small rodents, birds, amphibians, and reptiles, puff adders are said to attack with such force that the prey tends to die from the blow of the strike rather than the effects of the venom. That'll be all right. No, that's okay now. No, just let it go. It's afraid. It's afraid. Yeah.
Go, my friend. Go.
Don't get. A generally nocturnal animal, the bat-eared fox is rarely observed during the day. Here in the Serengeti, where night game drives are disallowed, this attractive species regrettably goes unseen by most visitors. We were thus very fortunate to see this pair while being driven from the central Serenera area to a balloon ride launch site in the western corridor during the very early morning hours. Bat-eared foxes get their common name from their enormous earlobes, which are likened to those of a bat. Their preferred habitat ranges from short grass plains and bare ground areas to semi-arid scrubland and savanna. A primarily insectivorous species whose preferred foods are termites and dung beetles, bat-eared foxes are estimated to carry on 85% of their activities in darkness. They also consume other insects as well as arthropods, lizards, small rodents, bird eggs, bird chicks, and vegetation. Notably, these food items provide them with most of their water requirement. Bat-eared foxes are usually monogamous and live in groups consisting of a mated pair and their 3 to 6 pups. Activities that promote bonding of the pair include grooming, playing, and sleeping with one another. It is notable that the males engage in these activities with the young at least as much as do the females. Gestation period is 60 to 70 days. With their highly sensitive hearing and ability to almost instantly change to moving in the opposite direction while traveling at high speed, bat-eared foxes readily escape from would-be predators. The mother gives birth to as many as 6 babies, which are called kits. About the size of kittens, these kits have a somewhat Chihuahua pup appearance, but a Chihuahua pup with very large ears. The kits begin to emerge from the den at 8 to 12 days and are fully grown at 6 months. Baboon spiders are African tarantulas. As members of the primitive spider group known as mygalomorphs, which includes trapdoor spiders and several other families, baboon spiders are ground-dwelling arachnids that use their chelicerae, also called fangs, to construct silk-lined burrows from which they emerge to apprehend their prey. Typically, the spider becomes aware of such prey, for example, an insect, when that prey walks upon the trip-lined silk threads and messages travel along these fibers and down the hole to the awaiting spider. The spider is then alerted and emerges. A smaller cat species that is highly adapted to rodent predation but capable of adjusting its menu to take advantage of suitable prey as per environmental conditions, the serval also feeds upon insects, frogs, reptiles, hares, hyraxes, and birds. This species has also been observed to take small antelope species, such as young springbuck. The serval's long legs and neck enable it to peer over its preferred tall grass habitat in search of prey. An unusually successful feline predator, the serval is estimated to make a kill on 50% of its attempts. Additionally, it will even dig beneath ground-dwelling prey species out of their burrows. The primary habitat for the serval is the savanna, though melanistic examples are more commonly found inhabiting mountainous regions. Dependent upon watercourses, the serval shuns both semi-desert regions and dry steppe habitats. Servals are preyed upon by leopards and other big cats. The greatest threats to their survival are posed, however, by humans, who often hunt the animal for its fur or capture it for the pet trade. The serval gestation period lasts 66 to 77 days. Litters typically contain 2 to 3 kittens, with numbers occasionally reaching 5. The mother usually selects a sheltered area, such as an abandoned burrow of some other animal species. The shelter provided by bushes and the like may also function as an appropriate kitten-rearing habitat. The greatest threats to the serval include habitat loss and the pet trade. It is presently listed on CITES Appendix 2, making it therefore unthreatened with extinction. But that could change if these 2 major threat factors continue unchecked. The 3 serval sightings that made up the footage seen here were obtained in the Ngorongoro Crater Conservation Area, which is part of the Greater Serengeti National Park region. Ngorongoro crater is an especially good place to observe this very charismatic cat species. The spotted hyena is the largest of the three extant hyena species, which also includes the brown hyena and the striped hyena. The most common of all African carnivore species, the spotted hyena will also scavenge carrion, but some 70% of its consumption is the result of direct kills. Their very powerful jaws enable this species to consume skin, bones, as well as horns and hooves. Thus, spotted hyena scat can be recognized by its usually having a white color, the result of calcium phosphate consumed from ingested bone. Common prey species of spotted hyenas include wildebeests and antelopes. Prey may be hunted by a single spotted hyena in groups of 2 to 5 or as a large pack. Hunting usually occurs by the predators entering a herd of ungulates, seeking a weak individual, and then chasing that individual at speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour, that is 37 miles per hour, for an extended period of time until the prey becomes exhausted. Indeed, not recognized for speed, the spotted hyena is known for its great stamina, and therefore its ability to eventually wear down prey by chasing it for a very long time period. We see here some 3 hyena cubs playing with one another and nursing on the mother. Cubs are typically born in litters of 2 to 4. They are suckled for as long as 12 to 18 months. While this is an unusually long time, it is likely required due to the great distances adult hyenas, and therefore hyena parents, must travel from the den in their efforts to find and kill prey. Thus, by the time the parent has returned to the den, the food has already progressed too far through the digestive tract to be regurgitated for the pups. While the greatest number of births occur during the rainy season, there is no definitive breeding season for spotted hyenas. A promiscuous species, spotted hyenas are not monogamous. Females generally favor mating with younger males. Curiously, passive males are selected for mating more often than those of a more aggressive disposition. The gestation period for spotted hyenas lasts from 90 to 110 days. Late in pregnancy, dominant females secrete large amounts of androgens, that is, male sex hormones, such as testosterone, and this is hypothesized to underlie the masculinized behavior characteristic of these female hyenas. Accordingly, it has been noted that the offspring of dominant females exhibit greater aggression and sexual behavior than those of lower-ranking females. Spotted hyena cubs are about 1.5 kilograms, that is 3.3 pounds, at birth. As cubs generally attack one another after birth, siblicide results in about 1 of every 4 cubs, with its being killed within the first month. Notably, hyena milk has the highest protein and fat content of any terrestrial carnivore. Due to the migratory movements of the prey, hyena packs in the Serengeti proper tend to be smaller than those in Ngorongoro crater, where the prey is less mobile. The common agama lizard is a species that occurs throughout most of sub-Saharan Africa. Attaining lengths of up to 30 centimeters, that is 11.8 inches, this species is recognizable by its white underside, brown-black legs, and a tail that has a white stripe down the center. Except for the hottest hours, it is very diurnally active. A primarily insectivorous species, common agamas also prey upon small mammals and reptiles. Vegetation also makes up part of the diet. Mucus glands on the tongue make this organ very effective in apprehending small prey items. Most agama lizard reproduction occurs during the wet season, at which time the female deposits fertilized eggs into a hole about 5 centimeters, that is about 2 inches, deep. There are 4 species of mongoose that occur in the Serengeti, including banded, dwarf, slender, and white-tail. A largely insectivorous species, the banded mongoose owes its common name to the black bands that occur from the mid-back to the base of the tail. Attaining a body length of 30 to 45 centimeters, that is 12 to 18 inches, with a 15 to 30 centimeter, that is 6 to 12 inch long tail, they attain a weight of from 1.5 to 2.5 kilograms, that is 3.5 to 5 pounds. Inhabiting open habitats of grassland, brushland, woodland, and rocky terrain, they occur throughout sub-Saharan Africa with the exception of the Congo and southwestern Africa. The species may cover as much as 5 miles per day while foraging. The banded mongoose feeds primarily on insects, but will also opportunistically feed on earthworms, bird eggs, crustaceans, scorpions, and snakes. Highly social, banded mongoose, quite unlike other mongoose species, typically live in packs of 10 to 20 individuals, but an individual's pack numbers may total as many as 40. Gestation lasts 2 months, after which a litter of 2 to 6 offspring is produced. Notably, young will start to accompany adults on foraging expeditions at just 5 weeks of age. The dwarf mongoose, measuring 18 to 26 centimeters, that is 7 to 10 inches long, and having tails that are 12 to 20 centimeters, that is 4.7 to 8 inches long, and weighing 326 grams, 11.4 ounces for males and slightly less for females, possesses a smooth, glossy coat that is usually speckled brown or black. This species occurs from Somalia and Ethiopia to eastern southern Africa and Namibia. Primarily insectivorous, it also consumes spiders, scorpions, and small vertebrates. Average pack size is 12, but may reach up to 32. Females are dominant over males, with the highest ranking individual in a pack being the eldest female. The next highest ranking individual is the mate of the dominant female. Dwarf mongooses give birth during the wet season, which extends from November to May. Gestation in the dwarf mongoose lasts from 49 to 56 days, and average litter size is 4. Full sexual maturity is attained at an age of 3 years. The slender mongoose is an especially common mongoose species of sub-Saharan Africa. It has a body length of from 28 to 40 centimeters, that is 11 to 15.7 inches, and a tail length of 23 to 33 centimeters, or 4.7 to 13 inches, and a weight of from 460 to 715 grams, that is 16.2 to 25.2 ounces. It occurs primarily in savanna or semi-arid areas of plains. A non-territorial species, it occurs alone or in pairs. The slender mongoose feeds upon insects, snakes, lizards, birds, rodents, amphibians, eggs, and sometimes fruit. It usually forages during the day, but may do so at night if there is sufficient moonlight. Gestation lasts 60 to 70 days, after which a litter of 1 to 3 pups is born. The female is the only caretaker. The white-tailed mongoose is a larger mongoose species. Both sexes attain lengths, from the head to the tip of the tail, of approximately 103 centimeters, that is 40.6 inches, and a weight of about 3.6 kilograms, that is 7.9 pounds, for males and 3.4 kilograms, that is 7.5 pounds, for females. The terminal region of the tail is pure white, an exception being those of West Africa, in which the tail ending may be black. This species occurs in most sub-Saharan areas of Africa that are not arid. White-tailed mongooses also live in Arabia. The female normally gives birth to 1 to 3 young. The young are completely independent at 9 months. The common genet extends over a wide range, including sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, Mediterranean islands, Arabia, Oman, and Yemen. It has also been introduced to Portugal, Spain, and France. Common genets are often found where their favorite prey, rodents, are plentiful. These are solitary animals with limited home ranges. They are nocturnally active and rest during the day. While little is known of genet reproduction, it has been determined that common genets give birth to 1 to 4 young after a gestation period of 10 to 11 weeks. Here we see a common genet foraging for prey. The black-backed jackal occurs extensively from east to southern Africa. An omnivore, this species consumes a great variety of food items, including insects, lizards, rodents, plants, and carrion. It may hunt cooperatively to take down such prey as wildebeest and impala calves. Here we see a black-backed jackal that has, possibly through the assistance of a partner, killed and is now eating a young Thompson's gazelle. Note how the vultures and a marabou stork or two are hovering about, hoping to scavenge the carcass for themselves, no doubt. And there is a touch of irony here, as black-backed jackals are often observed attempting to steal food morsels from lions that are on a kill. Note the long, dark hair on top of the neck and back, which is characteristic of this species' appearance. Seasonally reproductive, the black-backed jackal mates from June to August. After a 2-month gestation period, 1 to 6 pups are born from August to October. Pups are suckled initially and then fed regurgitated food for as long as 3 months. Thereafter, young forage with adults and thereby develop their hunting skills. Abandoned by the black-backed jackal, the remaining Thompson's gazelle carcass is rapidly scavenged by the vultures and marabou stork. The leopard is a big cat that occurs in both Africa and Asia. At least 8 subspecies have been identified of this highly adaptable feline. The subspecies found in the Serengeti is Panthera pardus pardus. Among the big cats, the diet of the leopard is notably the most varied as it feeds upon hoofed animals, reptiles, rodents, primates, birds, and even insects. In the Serengeti, as is the case in many places throughout Africa, leopards are often sighted up in trees. They often take refuge here to avoid confrontations with lions and hyenas. And here we see a Thompson's gazelle kill that has been stashed up in a tree by a leopard. Bringing kills up in trees and eating them there is common dining practice among leopards. It's a great way to avoid competition from lions and hyenas. Leopards attain an adult weight of from 17 to 65 kilograms, that is 37 to 143 pounds. They measure from nose to tip of tail at 1.6 to 2.3 meters, that is 5 to 7.5 feet, with a shoulder height of 60 to 70 centimeters, or 2 to 2.5 feet. After a gestation period of 2.5 months, the female leopard gives birth of from 2 to 3 cubs. The mother will then keep the leopard cubs hidden for about 8 weeks, after which they accompany her on foraging expeditions. Cubs are introduced to meat at about 6 to 7 weeks, and they are fully weaned at about 3 months. The cubs will continue living with the mother for 2 years, after which they have learned sufficient hunting and predator avoidance skills so as to sustain themselves and go off on their own. Note that the male leopard seen here has gone up this sausage tree, located in the central Serengeti, to elude some 8 lions, 2 of which are adult males. Indeed, both lions and tigers see leopards as competition for prey resources and will not hesitate to kill the smaller, spotted feline if given the opportunity. As the lionesses may well come up after him, this male leopard decides to face the lions head-on and try to make it to the presumed safety of the thick shrubs in the background. Here we see the camera footage, slowed down by 10 times its normal speed, revealing that the leopard has been chased out of the shrubbery by a lioness. He now faces another lioness, who appears a bit intimidated by him, but the mature male lion comes from behind to seemingly strike the fatal blow to the leopard. We took the leopard for dead. However, as events unfolded, we found that it was the male lion who received a gash on the right side of his face from the leopard, and it seems that the spotted feline escaped, as our guides assured us that the leopard would have been brought out of the underbrush for all the pride members to see had the lions killed it. Instead, the lions appear to be puzzled as to where this leopard has vanished to. And as this video is about predators of the Serengeti, you may well be wondering, where are the lions? The most iconic of all of the predators of the Serengeti. And the answer is, I already made a Lions of the Serengeti documentary, a movie devoted exclusively to this species. To see this documentary, please visit Lions of the Serengeti by John Uscian.